Hello everybody and welcome to the channel again. And we are using a new deck today. There's 4 groups, but I just want to show you the deck. So this is the Elemental Power Tarot. I may have drank too many glasses of wine and was shopping for family and friends for Christmas, and I just instantly bought this and I don't know why. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I don't love it. Not yet. Well, when I opened it, I was like, why did I order this? Silly me. I ordered it. I know why I ordered it. I ordered it because of these lovely colors on the box. I love gold and I love this, I don't know how to say this color. Cyan? I don't know. See you later. See you later. Yes. So yesterday I kind of tried to use it for myself, and it actually was really, really good. It's a pip deck, so the suits are just like pentacles, and I don't normally like those decks, but the major arcana I actually do really like, so I want to start using it sometimes. Not all the time, but we're using it as like a main focus for today's reading. And we're going to be looking into, what are we going to look into? We are going to look into your inner world and your outer world, and how the two of them are kind of showing you something that you need to kind of now take action on and kind of move on from it, and we will see where we can go from there. So it's basically like what your subconscious is trying to show you that's needing to be healed or needing to be resolved or whatever. We're going to see what different energies we have. So yeah, this is group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4. And if you can't choose a card because they all look the same, here's a crystal. Group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. I'm sorry that I don't have a big selection of crystals. I just have the ones that I like, and if I decide to buy more crystals, I will let you know. But for now, I like these ones. Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you other than I love you, and I will see you in the timestamps. Hello, group number 1. So as you can see, I have your cards laid out for you, but I do want to channel a little bit before. Even though I have kind of glanced over the cards, I'm going to try and not let that affect me and try and pick up extra messages that I'm not picking up. I might subconsciously, as we are talking about subconscious, I might pick up some things here that might resonate. But just trust me, I'm not trying to have this influence me. I'm trying to test myself here, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so. Okay, I seen someone throwing a pebble and the pebble doing the ripple effect. And I heard that you need to... Interesting. So I basically seen 2 people throwing a stone. You were one of them. And basically 2 ripple effects coming out to each other. And the way that it kind of is making sense to me is that, you know, that person has an objective and goals and all. They have all these things that they want to do in life and what they have prioritized for themselves. And you have also your own beliefs, your own set of values and blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I'm seeing that, I'm hearing that you need to have a lot of forgiveness with yourself. It starts with yourself first, and you need to start telling yourself that you need to start telling yourself that you love who you are on a soul level. So whatever that means to you, you need to get down to your soul, not just showing yourself love by buying yourself gifts and things like this. It has to be on a soul level. That's what I'm hearing. So forgiveness on a soul level maybe has to do with, you know, doing some sort of, actually maybe paying for a tarot reading, or paying for a past life regression, or paying someone. Just, it doesn't have to be paying, but it just has to be showing yourself love in a way that doesn't mean getting a facial or something like that, okay? You have to show yourself forgiveness in different ways, and treat yourself in ways that you won't normally think are going to be the best thing for you until you do them. When you take action on it, I'm realizing when I'm saying that. When you take action on it, you're going to have a different outcome, and that is exactly what we need from you right now, because you need to try things on both sides. Because just because someone on the other side is doing it a certain way doesn't mean that you have to agree with. You don't have to agree. You just have to understand both sides. That's what I'm getting here. You need to see things from both sides. You know, your belief, their belief, and then where you can meet in the middle, where you can have an understanding. That is what we need to get to today. So the main focus here is the Queen of Swords. I'm just going to show you the card. So I feel like this is the energy that's kind of dormant. This is the energy that it's like your subconscious right now feels you're basically someone who is hard to kind of crack in a way with the Queen of Swords. And it's like, I feel like when you're trying to express your emotions, it can be very, very scary and daunting for you, and you don't normally like to do that. And that is the reason for this energy to come up in like the main focus for you is because you don't want to have to become vulnerable. You don't want to seem weak. And you're being tested big time now, because there is a lot of people that are doing things that are hurting you, and there's a lot of things that you're seeing. You're seeing a world that is just dark, and it's getting darker and it's getting darker, and you're telling yourself that there's too many dark people, there's too many dark things going on, and you're really afraid of what you're seeing on your outside world. Just with this the Devil card here, this is your external kind of world, these two cards here, and these are your two kind of internal world. This is your two internal. So the way that these two are working together, it's like this isn't a time to give up, and you're not someone who gives up very easily. So you're wanting to fight back. You're wanting to fight, and you're wanting to, you know, shift your awareness into a new state that is like not afraid. You don't want things to get you to this low point where you're afraid. And like the wisdom that comes from this is that yes, people are dark. There are some people who do bad things. But for some reason you have learned that these bad people teach you to be a better person, okay? They teach you to not put up with their bullshit. They teach you to challenge your own self and what you agree with and what you don't, and how you take on guilt for saying certain things. Because you have a lot of anger here, and I just want to say that you have to let your anger out in some way that works for you. And it's not always going to be the best thing, but it's the only thing that you can do right now is to just be fearless, and to not let this energy let this energy out. And whatever way that means for you. If it means that you're getting angry at people that are assholes, then so be it. They're assholes. Don't let them be assholes to you. Get angry with these people that you just don't like. If you don't like them, tell them to back off. Tell them to get away. Move out of the situation. Just don't let this linger, because this is like, it's trying to get the better of you, and it's showing you that like you're losing control of your emotions, because I am picking that up from everything here. You're losing control of your emotions, and it's getting to you. It's starting to really affect your well-being. It's starting to affect how you think about yourself and you're starting to criticize yourself and you're starting to feel guilty. You need to just show yourself forgiveness about things that happen. Everyone is getting angry at people all of the time. We just don't see it. We think that everyone's just so sweet and so nice to people, and really it's not the way. The people that are so sweet and so nice are usually this toxic energy. The people who are real, who are upfront and blunt like you are, these are the people that you want. You don't want these fake ass biatches over here. You don't want them. They're not right for your energy. They might be right for some other people who want to hear that, who want them to be, manipulative. You don't need those people in your life. You don't need people to manipulate you anymore. And there could be some little bits of like trauma that has happened in the past that's you move past, and that's good. But you just know that this is not coming up for you anymore. You're like you can pick up on it straight away before it even happens. So yeah, like your internal world. I'm picking that up here. So some of you had to let go in the past, and it was more emotional. So some of you are getting rid of toxic relationships. Some of you are seeing a lot of toxic people in your life, and some of you are just really affected by everything that's going on in the world, and it's affecting you. It's kind of like the feeling I get from the two of these is like you've learned that sometimes in the past you didn't take action, because the Pentacles is kind of like slow. It's slow energy, but it's a new beginning. But it's something that has manifested, that you can say, look at my house. My house is amazing. I was going to say horse, but you know the song. So literally there's something that with that energy, it's like something that has manifested. But the situation here, and it is reversed, it's like something better is coming. It just hasn't happened yet. You can sense it in your internal world. Your intuition is telling you that something outside of you is eventually going to happen. So you know that when you go through these rough patches, good things actually happen. A new beginning is on its way. You just have to wait it out a little bit for whatever is going on. And even though that you don't like it, you know that emotional stress is actually the way to move forward. It is the way to move on, and it does help you a lot. So I just want to say that what you can do for yourself internally right now is to understand that emotions cannot be repressed. And if you look back at things that have happened in your life, when you let your emotions out, even though they might have been a mess, you might have thought that you looked like a mess, or you might have said something that you didn't mean, or it was all over the place. It's made you into the person that you are, and it's a really good thing. So don't be too harsh on yourself, basically, is what I'm picking up for you, because this is how we all move on. We don't move by sitting on our ass. We move by taking action. We shift quicker. Especially in this reality that we live in. We are in a 3D world. And I don't care who says we're moving to a 5D, whatever. We're still 3-dimensional. Yes, we're moving to 5D consciousness. That doesn't mean that you don't have to. You just can sit there and manifest sitting on a couch or sitting on a pillow. And that's not a rant to you. I just feel like you need to hear that, because maybe you feel like you're doing something that isn't right. No, you are doing okay. You don't have to meditate. Some people meditate and it just is something that they like to do. You don't have to do anything that the new age makes you feel like you need to do. Do you, and don't feel guilty about doing you. Don't make excuses for certain things. Like, I can be like this because I don't know. Just don't make excuses either. Like if you do say something to someone and it takes out a lot of anger, and you then realize that it wasn't okay, you need to sit with that and actually be responsible and say, okay, that wasn't okay. Sorry, this is a rant, but I don't care. I'm talking to you as if like, "Ugh." But like, this is true. It has to come out like this. It has to be like, you know, no more hiding things under the rug emotionally. You need to let this stuff out. Let your emotions speak for you. You need to be more vulnerable with yourself. Doesn't mean you have to tell people all of your deepest, darkest secrets and your biggest emotions or emotional breakdowns and all of that truth that you want to keep to yourself. Some of you are private people, and I'm seeing that, and that's fine. But do open up to some people, and do open up to yourself. And yeah, that is all I have for you. Group number 1. If you enjoyed this, please leave a comment down below. If you thought it was too harsh, I'm sorry. You can dislike this video, but I speak my truth, and my truth says you're a boss ass bitch, okay? And you can take the truth. But yeah, I will talk to you all in the future. And I don't have anything else to say. I don't think so. No. Okay, bye. Hello, group number 2. So, for group number 1, I did kind of channel a little bit first. And I'm going to try again for you. Group number 2, I'm trying to test myself. Even though I have glanced over the cards, I'm still going to try and see, does anything different come in? And if it doesn't, it probably will tie in some way anyway, because like, that's the way it works. But I'm trying to just see if I can get any other information just by clearing my thoughts and just tuning in to and seeing whatever I see. So yeah, I'm going to start with that. Wow. 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 Okay. I don't really need to channel much more. I did see and I did feel, I'll try and put this into words because I wasn't really hearing any messages, but I felt like a literal, that was just, okay, I'm hearing now. You are getting the full picture, or you have the full picture right now, and it's now what you choose to use. You are very much using your discernment in every single aspect. How you're so connected. You are group number 2. You are very, very connected. You are very in balance right now, and you are basically, you are getting the results that you deserve. Very, very strong. I just realized here that you have all major arcana as well. So that definitely is saying that you're someone who pays attention, just because I'm thinking on the major arcana as like this, you know, the journey. So you're really paying attention to your internal world's journey and your external world's journey. These are the 2 external cards. We'll start with them. And these are the 2 internal cards. So kind of what's going on in your world. Really, really interesting. Okay. And this is kind of the main focus. Okay. But I just want to say that some of you may have been called like earth angels or something in the past, but I do definitely feel that you're very much someone who creates a very harmonious, you basically bring so much harmony to the earth that you stand on, through the way that you feel. You are so connected to how you feel, and you connect to how the earth feels very much. So you're like an earth angel. It's like if you see like pollution, it it hits you. It's like empath, but it's like on a whole different scale. It's not just you're clairsentient in a way. I pick this. I am like this. It's like if you see a tree being cut down, you feel that. You feel this. I don't know how to explain it, but some of you will get this, and some of you won't have it on that scale. But like, you guys just really have a deep, deep, deep connection. And this Four of Pentacles for me, it seems like it's not. There's nothing. I have a different approach to how I feel about this because of the cards around. I think right now you are being more focused on where you're at in life and what your goals are for the future. Because right now you're trying to think on what's coming ahead and on what you can do for right now. But I just want to say that there isn't actually anything that you really need to do that much, because a lot of the foundation has already been set. Like you've already, set the foundation. With the Four of Pentacles, it's like fours are very foundational, and because it's pentacles as well, it's like I literally feel that right now you have set the stage and you know that the stage is set. You just need to wait for something to come along for you to act on, because right now you are getting the full picture, or you either have it already or you don't, but you're getting it. You're starting to put things together, okay? You're starting to understand I'll go back to the thing that I seen earlier on, because I'm seeing the duality here of the situation. Just want to show you the four. Oh, interesting. We have a lot of like balance on each. Sorry, I don't know. My phone cut off. I'm not sure why that happened. But I had to go back and check what I was talking about. I was talking about the balance and the image that I saw. So I basically saw a river and how it was branching off, and it's like the way that it looked to me, it was like there was a river that was going into this nice little lake area, and then there was a river that was just going off the edge of a cliff, and it was like a really extreme like cliff or whatever. But when we look at that in nature, both of them have their part to play. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're starting to see it, like that water is needed to go because this is a nice little lake, and this water needs to go on a different path, something more extreme, but it's going to take it to an even bigger pool of water. It might even take it to the ocean. So it's like you're starting to understand a lot of different laws of the universe, and this is what is really needed for you right now, just to really sit and take time to honor how far you've come. Because right now this is more of a higher self, because I was saying subconscious in the intro, like what your subconscious wants you to know, but this is more guided by higher power, because you feel so in touch with your higher self, more than a lot of other people. So yeah, we have the Devil card here again. We have that in pile number 1. So some of you from pile number 1, we have a very similar position here. So you might be here as well. Hi, pile number 1. But anyone that isn't in pile number 1, we do have a different story to pile number 1. I am picking up that I feel I'm really attached to these chains. So it's like bondage, but it's like not the sexual type of bondage. It's like you're really seeing how people are basically slaves to the system, basically slaves to addiction. You're seeing it all around you. You're seeing how some people are just so lost, and no matter what you can do, no matter what you say, you can't change the fact that there is, like, you want to reassure people that things are going to get better, but you can't help but look around and be like, this is scary. Like, this is scary how things have got this bad. And you're seeing a lot of people, like, even it's like no one's even hiding their addictions anymore. You can just see it. Like, no one's even pretending to not be tied down to their own fears, their own insecurities. Everyone's just like, oh, let's all talk about our insecurities together. Let's all talk about our dark, blah, 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 blah. Everyone's losing their mind. They're losing their marbles because they need to lose their marbles. And you see that, and you're starting to realize, like you shifted this energy. You know exactly what you need to do. It's like with this magician, it's like you're gonna understand that even if you do want to help people, you have to just be very clever about how you kind of shift and transmute that energy around yourself as well, because you're seeing a lot of it. So I don't know how, because what I'm seeing on your external is like, you see a lot of it happening, but you also want to do something about it. You don't want to, you want to make some changes. Looks like, so like maybe some of you are watching too much social media, or too much watching, or your family might be watching the news and stuff that you don't want to really involve yourself in, but you feel like it's around you. So I really think that you need to focus more on what you want to attract into your life. Not so much law of attraction, in the way I am saying that and I am saying that, because I don't feel like you want to just do law of attraction the way that a lot of YouTubers promote it. You want to do it in a way that's like, use what you've got, okay? Whatever you have right now, you use those tools, because you are the person who is going to attract these things into your life by doing things that you love with what you already have and what you already like to use. You don't need anything to do anything. You already have everything that you need. So when you start to focus on something that, I don't see that for all of you, because I see this as like, you're with these two, you know that good days are coming and you're taking action, so that's good. And you're definitely someone who likes to shift their energy, and you like to, it's like you can see what timeline, it's like you're psychic. It's like you can see the timeline you're going to go on if you start to believe in that, and you're like, no. So you're like taking the other route. You know that if you take this way, you're going to the lake. Do you want to have a life that's by the lake? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Do you want to go through that waterfall and see what's on the other side? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Everyone is different, but you are starting to see very clearly what's up ahead. Like, it might be a little bit rough, but you know that in time it'll all work out for better. You're not really as afraid as a lot of other people, because you know and you trust big time. You trust big time in guidance from above. You know that this card, definitely, actually, it's like, I'm hearing that, like, being in harmony with the elements, being in harmony with your other bodies, your astral body, your soul, all these other like bodies that we can't see, these other energetic bodies. You understand these things, and you understand that being in harmony with these things isn't easy. Even though the star is like a pretty card or whatever, but we have the star next to the devil, and it's like angels and demons. You get me? You understand the duality of life, and you know that being of love and light is actually really sad sometimes, and it's really freaking challenging, but you push yourself through it, okay? With the star. And then it's like, this is so, like, I love how this is all played out. Like, these two cards are your external world, okay? And here we have the devil, which is all about like addictions, fears, all the negative shit. Okay, over here is like the magician, who can sometimes be seen as someone who's like, you know, egotistical or manipulative or whatever. But with your internal world showing that you are not like, it's not showing that you're like that. So this is just such a really nice reading to have. I see that you are a warrior, a spiritual warrior, and not just a starseed. You're more than that. It's not that those are labels. They don't mean anything really. we're all the same. But I just want to say you have a different approach. Everyone is the same in their own way, but you have a different approach here because you understand it. You come to the realization of this information quicker than a lot of people, and you're going to be paid back. And you know that through all of the struggles that you went through, things are starting to change for you. Things are starting to change for you, and you know that when the shift happens, you are going to be ready. You're going to be ready to transmute the energy, transmute this energy, because you've been doing it for such a long time. You've been taking the darkness, okay, understanding it from a perspective of love and light, but also embracing like all of the emotions and all of the things that come with that, the darkness. And then you're taking it over here and you're literally putting the two pieces of the puzzle together. It's like putting a black piece of the puzzle with the light piece of the puzzle. And it's really interesting though. It's like I see you moving forward very, very quickly, very, very soon, because you are seeing a lot of things playing out and a lot of different karmas playing out for people, and you don't want them to go down that route, but you understand that their darkness is going to be their story that they're going to tell, and you don't want to ruin it for them. You want them to know that, like, I don't know, you want people to know that I told you so, but at the same time you don't want to interrupt their own spiritual journey, okay? But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of balance. Like, you're very balanced. Like here we have the two scales with the Justice card, and here we have the Star card, which is the balance again of she's pouring out the water from both sides. But definitely you're very much in harmony with yourself, and I love that. So group number 2, go get them. You got this. Go get them. Go take these demons and transmute them, take them to the light. But yeah, I just want to say a lot of you really need to give yourself a tap on the back or just really, really honor the fact that you are who you are because of all the things that you pushed yourself through. Like, you pushed yourself off the edge of some shit that you knew was going to be rough, but you were like, let's just risk it all. Let's see what's on the other side. And you came out the other side and you're like a different person. Okay. Thank you so much, group number 2. Leave a comment down below if this resonated. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 3. So I have the cards here laid out, but I do want to, with the same that I did with the other groups, I want to try and channel a little bit. Even though I have looked at the cards, I want to see if I can pick up any other images. Basically just trying to test my own self. Little challenge for myself. So yeah, I am going to begin. Okay. Okay, interesting. This is different. Okay, I feel like, get this, okay, I get the energy here with this and this, so it's kind of tying in, so I don't think I need to, I don't think I need to go too much into this, but I feel like if you try, to stop um, a particular journey that's meant to happen in your life, you're just going to delay things. And I think that you know that there is something deep down that has to happen, has to change, has to shift. And you've known this for a while. Um, and, and you don't exactly know what it is or how it's going to change, but you just know that like something has to come for you in the future, because I really, it's like the image that I got from this was like, I think I was picking it up from this card because I felt Halloween kind of vibes. So I was seeing like, maybe this is an image of you from your childhood, but I seen like kids going up. No, well, I've seen one child being like dared to go up to knock on the door and run away or something, like trick or treat, but then doing some kind of a dare. And I think that you were kind of the child that was always kind of picked on because you were a bit of a people pleaser. You were the one that was kind of made a fool of, or, you know, very easily persuaded to do things that other people wanted to laugh at, but they didn't have the balls to do it themselves. Whereas you were trying, it was like, I'm picking that up from here as well, that you kind of did things for other people to kind of just join in on the entertainment. And that has to change, because that is not the world anymore. You are older. The world doesn't work like that when we are older. I'm not saying that you're not an adult. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with how you're living your life. I'm just telling you what your own self wants you to know, is that now is the time for you to realize certain things that happened to you when you were younger and when you were a child. You were afraid to do things, but at the same time you did them anyway. And then it didn't turn, it's just like you did things, you took risks, and you were always like afraid, and you always did things that you got in trouble for, or just made a lot of silly mistakes, and you took it so bad. And now when you're older, we have the moon here, and it's like you're in between letting yourself have kind of like a spiritual experience. I wouldn't say it's an awakening, but it's like a spiritual kind of a shift, a transition. With the moon card, this is the main thing that your higher self or your subconscious is trying to tell you. I love this card. Like, this is literally somewhere I want to be, because I love the dark and the scary and the woods. I would literally go out there right now and just, I can't swim, so like if I fell off the bridge I would certainly shit myself. But there's some weird ass witchy thing dancing over there. There's a big pumpkin, and then there's a UFO, and it's just pure magical mystery and like Scorpio vibes. But also this is represented by Pisces, so you might be a water sign, but you're very much in touch with your intuition, and that is something that needs to have a little bit of work on, and not taking everything so literal, not taking all of the information and having it rule your world. Okay, I'm seeing that with this now. This is all tying in very nicely together, this here and this here. So these two cards are your external world, these two cards are your internal world, and we're going to kind of combine everything together to see what we're getting from this. But I'm also feeling like you need to kind of take responsibility for what you do with certain situations. It's like I don't know, I feel like you got away, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like not all of you will have the same extent of this, but I feel like when you were younger, you got away with far too much. Like, maybe you were told to go clean your room, and you went up and you just sat and watched something or played and didn't tidy your room, and there was nothing said to you. You weren't really said like, or told like, it'll be a different situation, but it's just like, this is something that you can't ignore. Okay? These secrets, these hidden truths that you know are going to come up. And whatever way you want to deal with them, it's not extreme stuff, by the way, that for anyone that's in this group. It's small little things that are kind of triggering you on a daily basis, and you're kind of shunning them off, and you're kind of been like, don't really care. It's fears. It's fears of the unknown. Okay. Yeah, and I feel like you try and use something, roll with it, and make that your belief. And this is why this is all with this Six of Cups is like your past, your friend group. Okay, they're all having fun, they're all acting silly, they're all doing dares, they're all doing silly things that young kids do, and it's fun. Okay, it's fun, but it's like you've got a responsibility now with the Knight of Pentacles, and you know that it's time for you to kind of take a little bit more responsibility. I keep saying responsibility with your information. We'll start with that, because here it's like the Seven of Swords. It's like you have information here. Like these mermaids find a man-made item, which is a sword. They don't really know what to do with it. It depends. What will they do with that? And this is like the feeling I get from this Seven of Swords. It's like swords is about thoughts, information, communication, and things like this. And it's like, how are you seeing people communicate with each other, or seeing people communicate with you, or how are you communicating? Because the words that you speak have the ability to heal, help, whatever, or they have the ability to hurt people. They have the ability to really damage people's life. You're just having to really understand this and use the information to kind of guide you where you want to go with your life. Because a lot of the time in the past, you've been living through the lens of someone else's. I'm hearing that. You've been living through the lens. Let me wait and get it. You've been living through the lens of someone else's story or eyes or whatever. You've been kind of like keeping people happy by joining them on their journey. Like you kind of, if someone says, hey, you want to go move here? You're like, yeah, let's move there. Hey, you want to play this game from childhood? Yeah, let's play that. You never really spoke up and said what you wanted to do. And it's not that you have to be a dick about it. It's just that, what's your story? You have to start rewriting your own story. This is about taking your power back. The moon energy wants you to take your power back. Understand your deepest, darkest truths and your deepest talents that are like dormant. This is dormant energy. The moon, it's shining a light on things, but it can't shine a light on everything. Okay? Because unlike the sun, the moon doesn't always shine. Sometimes we have a new moon. It's different energy here with that. It's like the ego is always there. The ego is always present in everyone. And I think that you're really having to discover how to kind of control all of this, okay? So I'm picking up. I want to go here first. With the Knight of Pentacles, I just was really drawn to the person journaling. I really think that something that you've either learned already is you've started to learn that journaling really works for you. Journaling is a way for you to kind of get your thoughts out. If you haven't tried that yet, I would definitely recommend trying something. It doesn't have to be structured in the way that most people do it on. Like, do what feels natural to you is what I'm picking up. Something that maybe you did when you were younger that really worked for you. Did you keep a diary when you were younger? Implement that back here. You can use things from your childhood that made you happy, that weren't part of someone else's story. They were your story. They were things that were precious to you, and bring that here. Okay, because you have stories from the past that that worked for you, that helped you and stuff. Okay, and that's what you need to bring into this, these adult years of your life. Restructuring the things you used to do as a child, because you see it from a different perspective. Because kids are so open to every energy there is, and they are so fearless. They're so like, they're basically just open. Very, very spiritual. And then the ego is like edging God out. We lose faith. We lose all of the hope in humanity, and all these different things start to scare us, make us afraid with this moon energy, okay? You can't let your fears control you. You have to understand how that fear is controlling you, is what I'm getting from all of this. And with the Chariot, we'll move on to that now. The Chariot, I feel like, you don't panic, because things are going to start moving. But with this, the Knight of Pentacles is kind of like, don't rush it. Okay, so I'm not seeing, like, things are moving whether you like it or not. So things have happened for a reason, because they have to move. Things have to change on your external world. Like, you've gotten information, you know a lot right now, and you have to move forward. You have to take action, and you have to, use that information in a way that's going to work, that's going to save your ass. I don't know, it's going to save someone else's ass or whatever. But don't panic, because if you panic, you're going to lose control, and you're going to kind of feel, you're going to feel like you're not making any progress in life, or you're going to be hard on yourself, basically is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of like talking down on yourself. So just really understand that you're protected. Because I'm very drawn to, you are definitely protected. It's like, you're prepared now, I'm hearing. So this is more, so a lot of you, this is a clarification. You're prepared now. I feel like I spoke and ranted and whatever, and kind of was like saying whatever, and you're like kind of agreeing. A lot of you are like, okay, yeah. Because you kind of wanted to hear that, so that you feel like you're ready. I don't know, you really needed someone to tell you all of this. Otherwise you probably wouldn't thought about doing anything. But you know yourself that things have to move. You know all of this has to come out. You know you have to shine light on things that you maybe don't want to shine light on, or that are going to come up either way. It's just like, you have to let this journey play out in the way that it wants to. It can go whatever way you want it to go, but at the end of the day, your soul wants you to get through this. Your subconscious wants you to get through this. Your subconscious is your fears, and you have very big, I never really see the moon as like fears, but I am, because of the imagery. It's like the UFOs, Halloween, and this weird little witch lady, and yeah, this lake looks a little scary. But yeah, I hope that made sense. Group number 3, and please leave a comment down below if it did. And I don't have anything else to say other than I love you, and I will talk to you in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 4. So let us see. We have the lovely cards. I haven't used this deck in a while, True Black Tarot, and I like this, but I am going to try and pick up any other messages or stuff that I might see to kind of put this together, because I've been doing that. Even though I've looked at the cards, I've been doing it for the other piles, and it actually works really well, because it's getting other stuff and other messages through. So okay, I am seeing that there is some dissatisfaction with how you may have dealt with certain things. And you're kind of like looking at things that you're talented at. You're starting to kind of doubt, you're doubting yourself a little bit. Well, you're a very strong person, but you're starting to get a little bit frustrated. Let's just say that. And I really want to say here that I'm seeing someone not really being able to sit still, and that is something like there's almost like I'm seeing someone like almost like sitting at a desk or even at a dinner table or just something, and it's just like there's a fidgety feeling, like they can't, like they're itching, or they're just like this is frustration. You're being frustrated, and I'm hearing that you're being tested right now to learn the art of being in the moment, and what real gift that is. That's a real skill. That's a thing that you need to learn how to do, and makes a lot of sense. A lot of people that maybe have similar energy to you, a lot of people that you're surrounded by are also being affected by this, and they're also kind of acting. Makes sense why I was seeing that now, because we have this over here, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But it's also like, for anyone that is in a work environment, your more extroverted people are also being a little bit fidgety and fragile, and are also a little bit challenged as well. So there is a lot of like learning from this. Seeing weird stuff in the corner of my eye, and I don't know what that was. Thought maybe it's a candle, but it just didn't look like that. Anyway, I'm also hearing your okay with that, but the two of these together, so it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I heard that, and these both go tie into that. So I love how this all just sorry, I'm just kind of getting mesmerized by my own stuff. Sorry, because I heard like that you're releasing a lot of guilt and burdens, and this is wands, burdens, and swords is kind of Eight of Swords is kind of, yeah, you could say that is guilt there. Yeah. I don't think I'm picking up anything else. I think I'm getting too influenced this time by the cards, because everything that I got was very spot on. So I'm just going to move into the cards a little bit more. So the main focus that we're going to look at is we have the King of Swords here from my new deck. Yeah, I feel like, okay. There is, things have, okay, sorry, it took me so long there to kind of see the whole picture, but I'm seeing that there has been a certain situation with someone in your work or in your family or a friend or someone that's close enough to you that you kind of have to deal with. Sorry, I don't know what that is outside. Someone thinking they're cool in the countryside. I don't know why they have an engine that size, but anyway. Anyway, this energy here is very much like two masculine kind of energies going head to head. So these are two people who are very extroverted, and that like to talk, and that are very like intellectual with their words. So you're probably dealing with someone who you kind of see is a little bit less intellectual as yourself. However, it's like, don't let your guard down, okay? Because, you know, you might think that, I feel like you might think that people aren't out to get you, or that they can do things to like upset you, but they will. They will eventually. Like you can't always be someone who is always right, and you're starting to understand that, and there's a lot of things that are kind of clearing up for you. So you might have made and said some things that didn't really go down well with this Knight of, because we have the King of Swords here. It's like the King and then the Knight. So it's like maybe you do have more power over someone, like work-wise or age-wise or something like that. But this Knight of Wands, he's learning from you. He might not be a he, could be two women, I don't know, but it's two extroverted energies. This person over here might seem like they have their back to you because this is you, your energy, the current energy here, and this person's kind of walked away, okay? And how you're kind of, your energy is now shifting to this Ace of Pentacles here. You are shifting, and you're kind of, you have blocked this energy, but this is just something that I feel like you need to be more aware of, that this person, this energy that is in your external world, or it could be several people that kind of act like this around you, people who try to challenge you. They're challenging you because of your ego, kind of. And they're also trying to, these people are trying to test you to kind of be more logical about how you think other people work. Because I think that you kind of are using an emotional tactic, and what's starting to shift as well for you is you're starting to attract people that don't get bothered by, using personal things to kind of get them to leave you alone. It's like a little bit of manipulation here, but not bad. It mightn't be bad. Some of you may know you manipulate and you're trying to work on it. We all have our own things. But I'm just basically trying to say here is, like, this person is learning from you, and they are learning from the best. And what happens when you learn from someone, you kind of use what you learn from them, and then you use your own stuff, and you start to become, superior, supreme witch, okay? So yeah, it's like, that's what I'm getting here. And I think that you're not too old for this, but you're kind of like, okay. But what you need to learn from all of this is start becoming more practical, more laid back, okay? You got to a point where, you're satisfied. Don't let it now start to go a different direction where you feel like you need to take power, you need to be more, like, because people kind of say that you are very cold-hearted, or that you're kind of not very warming to people with this energy, and that you are. Like, the people that are close to you, you're nice, you're a nice person, you're very loving, and you just have a different way of showing people your true self, because you have a kind of an image. It's not that your ego is something to be ashamed of. We all have an ego. But, like, don't let your ego, start to be affected by people that were maybe you a couple of years ago, okay? Your energy is shifting now to kind of be more appreciative of a more practical life, and that's what your new beginning here is with this Ace of Pentacles. It's like you're putting down the tools, and you're starting to welcome in more of that minimal happy lifestyle that's just kind of, not really worrying about money, not really worrying about wealth as much, but because you kind of welcome it in. It's naturally kind of just there. And I feel like here, it's like, what you've kind of learned recently is that whatever did happen with people out here is that through that stress, I think this is something that you could teach people, is like, you got to the point that you got to because you went through a lot of stress, okay? And it could have went a lot worse. Like, this isn't something to take like, people look up to you. Okay, I see that. I see a lot of people kind of look up to you, and they're so like, they're admired by your presence and how you are as a person. But you need to kind of tell people that, like, it wasn't that easy, and a lot of things could have went really bad. But you didn't let yourself burn yourself out. And that's what's kind of coming from here. So the energy that I'm getting here is like, you've learned a lot this year, especially. I'm hearing that. You learned a lot this year, but like, things could have been a lot worse, and they're not. Like, it's kind of now starting to change again. We have a new beginning. We have like these people kind of leaving you alone for a while. Doesn't mean that they're coming back in. I'm just telling you that in the future, think about how you are acting towards people who are similar to yourself, because these people are gonna try and use what you use on other people and use it to kind of bite you back in the ass. But I think that you're not attracting that anyway. I think you know yourself that you're kind of like over it and whatever. And this, funny enough, I'm hearing like how you can kind of move on from not getting this. So let's just knock that down. Not attracting people that are like, you know, a little bit argumentative, a little bit like, I know it all, a little bit like, yeah, a little bit annoying sometimes. You just need to be more careful. I'm seeing this hand, and I'm seeing the, like, I don't know what that is. I think it's an acorn. But I'm just looking at it, and look, for me, it's like seeming to kind of resonate, and the imagery here with the pentacle. But yeah, it's like a big hand coming up, and there's like spikes sticking, or spikes either shooting out or coming towards. And either way, what I'm seeing from this is that be careful who you shake hands with. And by that, I mean, be careful who you exchange your energy with. Be careful about who you get yourself involved with in the future, because you want to start having different people in your life, because, again, burdens. You don't want the burden of people, like, you don't want to keep having to tell people stuff. You don't always want to seem like the leader of the group. You kind of want to just sit back and let other people figure it out, and that is fine. Telling you now, let people just argue amongst themselves and just take a seat back. Enjoy the show. Get some popcorn. Watch people have their own little drama. But if this is a work environment, again, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Resign? No, but seriously, like, it's been a good year for you. There's been a lot of stress, and again, it got you thinking. It got you definitely thinking about where you were, like, keeping yourself stuck. You were stuck and stagnant because you were kind of bored. You weren't really seeing anything really happening new. So you were kind of using old ways and old kind of stuff that you've maybe already moved through, and you were using them again, but using them in a way of like just knowing, kind of using it because it's familiar to you. And then in turn, you kind of had more complications with people because you started to attract people who were like, okay then. Yeah, and that's what I'm getting for that. Group number 4. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment down below if you did. And yeah, I will talk to you all in the future. Goodbye.